So this lesson was cut short. I'm just gonna go up once so that if somebody watches this, they can pause it and copy down the top part at least. Go ahead. Okay, just scroll up one so that's in the video. Right, you had word problems, some definitions. And here's the first example, laminating putting laminate down on your flooring. Okay. So it usually means finding the total area that you're doing the flooring for. It could be your living room, bedroom, basement, doesn't matter. The area of one box is already given. It could have been that they didn't, so we'll see how that looks like down the road. You have to find the boxes, and this is boxed in, right? So make sure you add that to your study sheet. And so we calculated the number of boxes, making sure we always round to a whole number. And you always round up. So even if this had been 6.15, you still round up because you have to buy that extra box to cover that little bit. Okay? And then you have the total without taxes and with taxes. Okay? So this is a classic example of area. This is just area. And now we're going to do one that involves perimeter. So copy this question down. And I'm going to let it roll the recording. You can always fast forward if you're watching this later. So I'll read it once. James would like to fence in his yard by using barbed wire. He plans on running 3 lines of wire around his yard, which measures 45 feet by 110 feet. If a roll of wire contains 100 feet of wire and costs $120, calculate the total cost of fencing his yard after tax. So I'll just give you a picture first of all. What's happening here is you have the fence will look like this, right? If this is a post and you have another post here, right? And this goes all around the yard, right? He'll kind of run one line of barbed wire here, right? So you have barbed wire everywhere. And you have another one here. So he wants to do 3 rows of this, right? To effectively fence in. So it's like a farm or something like that, right? So there are your 3 lines going like that. Okay. So just to give you a picture, that's what the fence will look like. From the top view, right? If you look at it from the top, the yard measures 45 feet this way and 110 feet this way. Okay. This is the yard. Now you have to ask yourself, is this an area situation or is this a perimeter situation? Okay. Well, think of fencing, right? Fencing goes around, right? Fence goes around. That means perimeter. That's what that means. So no area here, okay? You're not going to multiply 45 times 110 or anything like that. Okay? The perimeter of the yard would be 2 times 45 plus 2 times 110. That's 90 plus 220. That's 310 feet. And my reasoning is here. It takes 310 feet to go around once. We need 3 rounds, right? So it'd be 3 times 310 feet. So that'd be 930 feet of wire needed. I'll make a note here, don't do the times 3 at the end. Some students just calculate the cost and then you just multiply by 3 at the end. We do that right away, okay? So we come up with the perimeter, which is 310. That's enough to go around once. We have 3 rounds, right? the first round, then the second round is halfway up the pole, and then the third round is all the way at the top. So this is a number that would be important to us, right? Now, go back and it says that up top, a roll of wire contains 100 feet of wire. So obviously you're going to need to buy 9 something rolls, you can tell already. But here it is again, the same thing as with area. Rolls or boxes, right? Doesn't matter. Would be total perimeter. That'd be this number right here. Okay, divided by perimeter of the roll or box. So because now you did the math at home, 930, right? That's how much wire is required. So that would be like the total perimeter for us. So I know you have to understand. I'll talk to you later, Benedict. So what you need to do here is rolls in this case. I'm giving you this because this is a general formula. Okay, total perimeter is like in total we went around 3 times, so that gave us 930 feet. We divide it by one roll having 100 feet. Could be 80, could be 50, you name it. And that gives you 9.3 rolls, which is approximately 10 rolls needed. Cost would be the rolls times the price per roll, be 10 times $120. Oh, sorry, what happened there? I made a mistake. Okay. $1,200. Multiply by 1.12 to get after tax. Okay. Catch up later. This one is probably, most of you will say, well, I don't need to know that formula, but this is under perimeter. Okay, we did area, now we did perimeter. They're very similar, except for you're not finding area here, right? You're just finding the distance around. So this is our final answer here. I'll just give you a an aside here. once you've written this down, I'll show you how this could have been different. And I will maybe just highlight this part, right? Like maybe this will stick. Right? Because it would be wrong if you don't do that, okay? So I'll just look, you don't have to copy this, okay? But let's say you figured out, hey, once around is 310 feet. So how many rolls do I need? 310 divided by 100, right? That's 3.1 roll. So I need to get 4 rolls. To get this, if you had to go around once, you would need to buy 4 rolls, right? So then you go cost is 4 rolls times 120, right? That'd be $480. Okay, so you're determined once around is 310, figure out how many rolls, 4, then you find the cost, that's that, and then you will say, hey, but you need to do this 3 times, so you just go times 3, right? So 480, that's close to 1500. You get 1440 here, and then you add taxes. That is 1612.80. It'd be so much more if you did that. Why did this happen? Like why did I get 1344 here, but here you get 1612? Well, if you're buying rolls, right? There's always a little bit left over, right? Like to go around once, there'd be 0.9 of a roll left over. You get to use that leftover to go around the second time, and then there'll be some leftover. You use that to go around the third time. So you're actually opening partial boxes to continue, right? So whenever I'm telling you like that you're going around 3 times or 4 times, whatever, you need to do that right away, not at the end when you're already calculated the cost. Okay, so never do the times 3 or whatever at the end when you've calculated the cost, because that'll be off. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna do 2 more questions, which I'm gonna let you do on your own first. So consider this a worksheet. So write it down and leave about, I'm leaving half a page. So I do this one, I leave half a page for this question and half a page for the next one I'm giving you after this, okay? So write this down. No, no. But I want to see, you need to see for yourself, do you know what's happening? So you get to use your notes to answer this. You get to use your study sheet if you've updated it. By the way, one tick, I didn't talk about that, I don't think. One tick after a number means feet, and 2 ticks like that is the equivalent of inches when we're talking imperial system, okay? So make a little note. So write that down and then try to solve it. So you're replacing the carpets. That right there should tell you, okay, that right there should tell you that it's area, okay? We're dealing with area here. In your living room, which measures 20 feet by 15 feet, if a roll of carpet costs 159.5 and measures 8 by 8, so it's an 8 by 8 roll, right? Calculate the total cost of carpet after tax. So the first step that I'm going to take is the area of the room, right? Which would be 20 by 15, which is 300 square feet. Okay, that's the area of the entire room. The area of a roll, remember earlier we skipped this part because they gave us the area, right? Now a roll measures 8 by 8, so we actually have to calculate that. So 8 by 8 is 64 square feet. Right, so they didn't quite give you this, but they give you enough information to figure out the area of one roll. So the third step would be rolls required, right? It could be boxes or rolls. You would take the total, right? Total divided by the roll, right? The area of the roll. And so the total in this case is 300 divided by 64. And that's 4.69 rounded to 2 decimals. We have to say we're going to have to buy 5 rolls like that to cover that. Obviously, you're going to have to cut and seam it together. I don't know if you've ever seen carpet being done, right? Some of you might have it showing, right? Over time, that seam will come apart and you might have to duct tape it or whatever in the meantime. You know what I'm talking about. Some of you are laughing probably, right? Sometimes the vacuum, like if you have a brush, it gets caught on that thing and it stalls on you, right? Anyways, so it's going to have to be done that way. So it's 5 rolls that you need. So the last step, these are just steps that I'm making them as I go, basically. Those aren't, you don't have to follow. You could have first found the area of the roll, then the area of the whole room. It doesn't really matter. And then cost would be, we need 5 rolls and they cost 159.50 each. Okay. That is 797.50. Right? That's without tax. And we go times 1.12. That's 893.20. That's what we're after ultimately. So a question like this, you should be able to do. If not, make sure you maybe have an example, right? A short, sweet example of what you've done here. And then you should get this answer. Okay. You cannot use partial rolls. And that's that. So while some of you are copying the work that I just done, I'm going to scroll this up and you start writing down. This is going to be the last example we'll be doing today. This one involves painting, and we're going to switch to meters here. I don't know if you've noticed, but I purposely go all over the place. I go yards, meters, inches, for you to familiarize yourself with the different units that we're going to be dealing with, because soon we're going to have to convert units. Okay. So this is a painting one, so it's a little different. Maybe you have done some painting, maybe not. Some of you might be like, if I need to paint, I'm just gonna go buy a can. Who cares, right? And if I need more, I'm gonna go again. But if you want to accurately calculate it, this is how you do it, okay? So Will is painting a wall, and the wall is 2.5 by 215, and that's in meters. A window measures 0.5 by 0.7 meters, and it does not need painting. So if you want to put a, right, imagine this is the wall, and there's a window somewhere in there that does not need to be painted, okay? So you can think of this as 215 and this is 2.5 wide like that. And this is 0.5 and 0.7, right? So area to be painted, right? Area of this wall that you're looking at would be 215 times 2.5, right? So you'd multiply these two minus 0.7 times 0.5, which is the window, right? This is the window. And this is the wall, okay? So you need to find the area of the wall, find the area of the window, right? We need to subtract the two. So I'm going to do them in two separate steps, okay? This 5.375 minus 0.35, and that is 5.025 square meters to be painted. And I'll just keep all of that, right? I'm just going to keep all of that. This is, so A is done here. We've done A. Okay. Now, Will needs to apply 3 coats of paint, and 1 can covers 5 square meters, and it costs $18.55. Calculate the total cost after tax. What we're going to do here is this. Remember the fencing you went 3 times around? We multiplied by 3. So we're going to go 3 coats times 5.025 square meters because you're covering this wall 3 times. It's as if you're painting 3 walls. And I'm using all the decimals, notice that, just because it stopped, and that's, oops, that's 15.075 square meters to be painted, okay? So you're painting technically this much, not just one wall. You're putting 3 coats on there, so your answer of area to be painted needs to be multiplied by 3 to get this. Now we're going to go with cans. It could be cans, boxes, rolls, you name it. You take the total divided by the area that 1 can will cover. 15.075 divided by 5 square meters. And you get 3.015, which is approximately, I know there's a little bit over, you need 4 cans. It doesn't matter, you need 4 cans. Cost will be 4 times 1855, which is 74.20 times 1.12, which is 83.10. Okay, so tomorrow, so your homework right now is to update your study sheet with, so that you're able to do these types of questions, look them over, and then be ready for tomorrow's AC, okay? 2 questions, probably 2 or 3 based on what we've done today. I just need to see, do you understand the basics? Okay. All right. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.